difficult with the running they've got. Fairbank drives it out. Barrow away next week, and then Featherstone, London and Toulouse all lining up for Halifax with a final game at home to Rochdale. And they've arguably one of the toughest run-ins. Toronto will host Lee next week, and Lee have a fairly easy run into the end of the season, so Halifax must keep winning. Featherstone play Halifax, London and Toronto. Toulouse play London and Halifax in their run-in. So all to play for in the end of the season. And Halifax looking to stay in the top four. Ben Johnson throws the dummy, throws the defence, still going Johnson. Gets the ball over the top, quick hands on from Morrell to Chester Butler, who's making metres into the Bulldogs half. Looked for the little offload out of the right hand side, but went down before he could get it away, and Morrell skies that one up into the air. Tyra chasing it. Was Tyra obstructed? He was, says the referee. Well, it looked like Smeaton had held his ground, but the referee said he'd obstructed Steve Tyra as he charged in for the ball, and Halifax will get back-to-back sets after making big inroads into the Bulldogs defence, courtesy of Johnson, Morrell and Chester Butler on that last move, sweeping downfield. Dan Fleming into the Bulldogs defence, 5 metres out, switch of play. Johnson gets it away, and Grady in for the first try. Batley haven't even touched the ball yet. Halifax receiving from the kick-off and going downfield into the Bulldogs half. A penalty against Sam Smeaton. Halifax setting up the move, switching back the play to the left-hand side, and Ben Johnson setting up Shane Grady for what could be the first of many tries this afternoon, with Halifax in a mood like that in the opening 3 minutes. So Tyra, who was obstructed and in virtually the position that he's taking the kick from, well, obviously still affected by Sam Smeaton's knock, but failed with the first kick. Halifax off and running. 4 points to 0. And Batley back at the centre spot with David Scott kicking off again. Fairbank is that drives the ball forward. A good charge up from the Bulldogs defence, catching Jacob inside Halifax 20. Fleming also caught inside that 20 metre white line, and John Kay switches to the left. Fairbank goes again, wrestled to the ground by 3. Well, a more determined effort this time from the Bulldogs defence. Griggs goes back to the left, and Johnson puts Tyra in a gap that was quickly shut by the Bulldogs defence. Halifax needed those metres away from their own line. Long pass from Griggs to Morrell. Morrell unable to hold off the tackle of Bretherton. Bretherton with some assistance from one of his teammates as Griggs kicks downfield, and Tomlinson at full back risks a long pass. Halifax having to defend for the first time, the first set of 6 with ball in hand for the Bulldogs. Keenan Tomlinson is named as fullback, but looks as though he's drifted out onto that far wing to trying to carry the ball away. A long ball inside, risky, but Batley will have to chance their arm, looking for points. They're looking at mid-table mediocrity for this season at the Batley Bulldogs. 7 wins from their 17 games. James Woodburn-Hall is a ready replacement at full-back for Kieran Moss. Ben Heaton look to pass to Saltonstall. Will Sharp moves into acting half, and he'll go from dummy half up to the 40. Backs making metres, so you go Saltonstall, he's doing the same as he brought down a metre from halfway. Ben Kay moves into acting half. Griggs looking for a way through. Brad Day, the first man there, and then 3 of his teammates with him to put Griggs down. And Johnson puts it off the outside of the boot. Tomlinson back for it, and the ball is fed inside to David Scott, who's gone back to full back. Tomlinson will get his second touch, and it'll end 25 metres out from the Bulldogs line. Farrell chased by Fleming, caught by Fleming, but the ball offloaded, and Lewis Galbraith carrying it on as Manning takes it over halfway. He gets to the Halifax 40. Red hot afternoon at the Shays. Hemingway kicks the ball into the corner and looks for his teammates to put the pressure on Halifax from the scrum, for which they will get the put in on the 10 metre line, 10 metres out from the Halifax try line. I'm sure there'll be plenty of visits onto the field through the water carriers this afternoon. Temperature up around 24 degrees and a heat wave due this week. Scrum finally goes down. Ben Heaton has moved in to carry the ball up. Not too far. Ben Kay almost finding a way through the Bulldogs defence there. Looked like 1 or 2 may be in offside there, and he's spotted by the Halifax supporters but not punished by the referee. Griggs carries the ball forward, strong tackle, 2 metres short of halfway. Ben Kay out to that left hand side again, where Tyra comes back inside of the drop off ball, just inside the Bulldogs half of the field. Griggs to Morrell, and Morrell puts the ball up, and Batley defender with the sun in his eyes as Will Sharp gets it away. Chester Butler trying to stay on his feet, but there's a penalty coming for Halifax. Well, Batley conceded one. Similar position the other side of the field. I think the call is that Will Sharp was contact in the air from the Batley defender. And so Halifax an opportunity perhaps to increase on their 4 points to 0 lead as Griggs takes the first drive in. Kay rushes in, but Griggs has knocked on under pressure from scrum half James Davey. Well, that's an opportunity lost for Halifax. They put the ball down on the first tackle. And Batley will see that as a let off as Hemingway feeds the scrum, but Batley have to take the ball out of their own red zone and get over the 20 metre line at the first time of asking. Good effort out of defence from Galbraith. Takes his place right back over on this side of the field, and Manning charging the ball up. Oh, interesting duel between Manning and Grady, because Grady has proved a more than adequate replacement for Dane Manning. Halifax supporters were wondering how Manning could be replaced after the way he played, but Shane Grady has matched and excelled in certain departments, especially the kicking department, but also hasn't lessened Halifax's impact in it since his signing from Dewsbury. Will Sharp will touch the ball to his foot and charge it into the defence on a start of a 7-tackle set for Halifax. Saltonstall will take it up another 8-9 metres in a quest to take Halifax back into the Batley half of the field, which they've almost achieved. Woodburn Hall gets it away to Ben Heaton, and Ben Heaton, as normal, or as seems to be normal, away from the first defender, gets up slowly. Galbraith it was who missed him. Morrell creating the gap and gets it away to Fairbank. Fairbank over the top, but it went forward, says the referee. So Sam Smeaton, who interestingly has far less strapping on than he had when he came out for the warm-up. Bandages all the way up his left leg, which now seem to have been reduced to just around the knee. Also a large bandage around the lower right knee, which seems to have disappeared. Maybe Matt Diskin thinks that if the less strapping he's got on, the less likely he is to be a target for the Halifax defence, because I'm sure he would have been had he been wearing all the bandages that he had when he came out for the training. But Batley off the back of the scrum with Dave Scott, and now Smeaton, another former Halifax player, this Batley side that's missing Dominic Brambane, Joe Chandler and Danny Cowlin, who all at one time wore the blue and white of Halifax. And the first penalty to the Batley Bulldogs puts them into the Halifax half. What Halifax will hope will be another brief visit. First tackle on Michael Ward, made inside the 40. Ball away from Hemingway to Farrell, who's put down on the 30. Adam Gledhill gets the pass away, but Halifax in numbers and having a big impact in the tackle, although they struggled to put down the man with the ball. Michael Ward finds support, gets the ball away, a run round. Farrell tries to step inside and gets the ball back to Hemingway. Hemingway away from the first tackler. Hemingway still going towards the corner. Halifax bring him down eventually. Galbraith moves into acting half, gets it away to Farrell, and Farrell once again tries to take on the Halifax defence, but to no avail. He's tackled 9 metres out. James Davey back to Hemingway. The kick played up by Shane Grady. Not the best of kicks from Hemingway. Wanted it in the in-goal area so he could put pressure on. Woodburn Hall takes 3 to put him down. Threatened to get through the first line of defence then. Ben Heaton wants to get it and play it quickly. Being interfered with by Michael Ward, but Gotts plays it. Grady gets it back to Johnson. It's gone backwards, and it's Woodburn Hall that picks it up, and he's dropped it, so Fairbank's gone back for it, and Halifax have lost nearly all the metres they made in that last rush forward. As Saltonstall is tackled on the 30, and the referee signals the last tackle. Morrell inside the 40, opts for a kick down the centre, and it's holding up Jason Crooks, who's can be a threat with his speed and his size. Tries to go sideways, but caught by Simon Griggs and Ben Kay, and Kay's in again with Griggs, and Grady as well making the tackle. Scott who's plenty of pace, as David Scott. 10 tries this season. He's the top try scorer in this Batley side. Nearest to him, loose forward Brad Day on 8. And beyond that, no other Batley player has scored more than 5. Crooks is on 5. A desperate kick away. Ball goes backwards out of the tackle. Woodburn Hall looks to offload twice, but couldn't get it away. James Brown it was who put the kick on, although Alex Rowe's been named as the substitute that's come on. Can't see Rowe on the field. Butler tries to get the pass away, it came off the Batley hand first. Halifax should get the possession, but it's scrappy. On a day like today, you don't expect too many errors, but both sides making the fair share. Well, definitely no sign yet of Alex Rowe. As Adam Gledhill just makes sure the scrum cap on it is on correctly. Okay, off the back of the scrum to Johnston, and James Woodburn Hall puts it down. And another turnover on the first tackle for Halifax. I think Richard Marshall will be cursing his players' inability to keep possession, to take the ball safely. As once again, the turnover of the ball not under any pressure. Well, so many low-scoring games between these two sides at the Shape. 4 points to 0 with 23 minutes to go in the first half. Looks like it may be another one. Batley come again, moving the ball swiftly along the line. Farrell will try and go through, but there's an arm too high from Chester Butler. Scott Morrell complaining about something prior to that. So not only they give the ball away easily, they also give the penalty away easily on that occasion. And that'll be a second Bulldogs penalty, which will allow them to attack the Halifax line. Halifax with 4 wins, a draw, and a defeat in the last 6 games, including the biggest win of the season so far, 46-6 away at Swinton last season. James Davey gets the ball away to Adam Gledhill. Ball back inside, and Halifax almost fooled there by the play from Hemingway. And now Davey charging towards the line, but there's a 4-man defensive wall for Halifax stopping him. Last tackle, can Halifax hold out for another one? Kick through from Hemingway has gone too far. I thought Woodburn Hall looked as though he was going for that, but left it to go out of play. And Halifax will get another 7 tackle set, and will be looking to keep hold of it for the full number of tackles this time. Saltonstall goes down on the 30. Will Sharp almost to the 40. Will get up and play it when the 3 Batley defenders get off him. Ben Heaton up towards halfway. Ben Kay quick play the ball. Griggs gets it to Johnson. Johnson to Woodburn Hall, and Woodburn Hall out to Saltonstall. Fancies a run down that left-hand touch line. Manages to stay in the field of play, and Halifax are back in the Bulldogs red zone with Johnson looking for runners. Finds Fairbank, and Fairbank runs it into Brad Day and Adam Gledhill. 10 metres out from the Bulldogs line. Morell gets it to Woodburn Hall. Long ball out to Will Sharp, and the defence had come inside. Lewis Galbraith had gone walkabout and wasn't out on the wing, although Jason Crooks should have been there as well. But there was nobody there on the long pass to stop Will Sharp getting in at the corner. And Will Sharp doubles Halifax's lead with his 4th try of the season. An acrobatic dive at the end from Will Sharp. Well, Galbraith and Crooks nowhere to be seen there. Galbraith had gone too far inside, and I'm really not sure where Crooks had gone. Well, Dave Manning is going back to the Batley Bulldogs bench, being taken off and replaced by Matt Diskin. Maybe Matt Diskin spelling Dave Manning after only 9 games this season. Dave Manning. And Steve Tyra has failed with another kick. Richard Marshall taking the opportunity to change his front row while that kick was taking place. And Alex Rowe is on for Batley now. Kick. First touch for Elliot Morris, who's come onto the field with Brandon Moore. Woodburn Hall, Fairbank. Well, Fairbank still going forward, 3 defenders around him. They try to lift him up and carry him back, but Fairbank standing his ground as Johnson brings Grady on the inside, and Grady gets over the 30. Johnson to Tyra. Tyra closely marked but shrugs off the defender and then gets mugged by 2 on the 40-metre line and put down. Gets up and plays it. Johnston running across the face of the defence, gets it to Morris, and Morris gets away from the first defender. Ball has gone loose, and that's a knock on from Elliot Morris, who's claiming, I think, they're pulled from his grasp by the Batley defence. Well, Halifax again making an error. Well, scrum a metre inside the Halifax half. And Jason Crooks is smashed to the ground by Chester Butler and Brandon Moore. Farrell passes to Alex Rowe, the former Sheffield and Featherstone forward. Like James Davey has had the head shaved, obviously thinks they can go faster without the hindrance of the hair. Well, Davey gets it away to Farrell. Brad Day gets it away to Alex Rowe, and Rowe almost allowed to get the pass away then. Halifax somehow get him down. Elliot Morris, last tackle, little kick through from Hemingway, it's picked up by Woodburn Hall, who's trapped in goal. Well, had to be brave to go down on it. The Batley defender, the Batley attackers were following the kick up. Tomlinson and Scott chasing after Hemingway's little kick through. Woodburn Hall first there. Look to have taken a knock, but he's back on his feet. Tyra gets to halfway and beyond with his kick, now made into 60 metres with a help from Thomas Hemingway, who tried to stop it with his feet. And Alex Rowe set off well, but finished up on his back, and Brandon Moore driving him into the ground at the shade. James Davey will certainly pack a punch, these two, Davey and Rowe, two of the biggest men. And Chet Labuster penalised, Chester Butler even penalised, and Bretherton walks forward and gives a half a metre forward pass and gets away with it. James Davey into acting half. Hemingway gets the pass away. Scott shifts it out into the centres. James Harrison moves on, and a lucky bounce there as allows Farrell to play on. But that one, no doubt about that. Well, that's the reason Joel Farrell probably doesn't pass too often. He's run it up most of the time, and then just one short pass earlier, but the long pass way off target and way forward for Farrell. Halifax looking to get Adam Tangata on, but we'll have to wait till this scrum has taken place. A very small band of Buttlog supporters, not very vocal, they've not had much to cheer about, but they're only 8-0 down. Adam Tangata on for Simon Griggs. It's a day to use your replacement wisely. Ben Heaton takes the ball up and went down awkwardly there. It looked like his teammates were making sure he was alright, but Ben Heaton doesn't look too comfortable there as the medics on quickly to give attention. Halifax down to 12 men attacking as Tangata with his first touch takes it over the 40-metre line. Heading back towards halfway, Morrell kicks over the top, looks for territory and finds it deep in the Batley half of the field, putting the ball into touch 5 metres from the Batley touch line. The scrum will go down on the 10. Let's have a look round for Ben Heaton, who was on the floor a minute ago, is now in the second row, still stretching the right leg, which must have been trapped in that previous tackle. Was concerned from one of his teammates, who went immediately to look, and there were a few moans and groans from the crowd as well, but Ben Heaton back on his feet. Keenan Tomlinson in off the wing, gets over the 20-metre line. Halifax still leading 8-0 with just under 13 minutes to go, and almost the first line break there from the Bulldogs with James Harrison. And Halifax up quickly with Elliot Morris taking Davey almost from dummy half. And Brad Day still in the Bulldogs half, and the referee signalling the last tackle again, so it goes back for the kick, which bounces up into the arms of Woodburn Hall. Looks at the options and almost runs through the middle of the Bulldog defenders that were approaching him. Saltonstall. Well, once again Saltonstall staking a claim for the biggest metres made, and Batley trying to make sure the most metres lost there as he was pushed back by the defence, and the ball is stripped by James Davey. And Davey held by Woodburn Hall, who was lucky then that the referee was going back into the Halifax defensive line and perhaps didn't see the tug on the leg. Galbraith to the 20. Looks like Reese Butler's playing without a number as James Brown takes the ball up to put Batley within striking distance. Harrison sort of pushed into the tackle there by Grady, and Fairbank wrapping him up. Kick off the outside of the leg brings nothing for Hemingway, picked out around his knees by Stephen Tyra. Saltonstall from acting half gets to the 20, good metres away from the Halifax line. Quick play, the ball is messed up by Ben Heaton, and he tried to pick it up quickly and go from acting half, but went without the possession, and Halifax surrender it again early in the tackle count. Well, the completion rate won't make good reading for Richard Marshall and his coaching staff at half time, which is just over 10 minutes away. Scoreboard shows Halifax 8, Batley Bulldogs 0, but Halifax by no means in control of this match so far. Well, they don't call them the Bulldogs for nothing, because they're showing some dogged determination and defence to cause Halifax problems. Galbraith gets the ball away. Moves the ball into the defence of Smeaton, gave it to Galbraith. Butterworth without a number, gives it to Farrell. Doesn't try to pass this time, gets dumped on his back 8 metres out from the Halifax line. Butterworth gets the ball away, and Rowe running off the inside pass from James Brown is brought down a metre away from the Halifax line. The Halifax defenders have been drawn into the middle, and Brad Day trying to take the inside ball, but the numbers in defence were still there for Halifaxers. Butterworth gets it away, but Halifax can't stop the charging run. Well, they've struggled to cope with Davey and Alex Rowe since they came on. James Brown rather, and Alex Rowe. And Brown's charging run on that occasion, taking him over the try line, and Batley will not be shaken off as they hit back with their first points of the second half with just under 9 minutes to go. It's Halifax 8, Batley Bulldogs 4. I never expect a free-flowing game against the Batley Bulldogs, and it certainly hasn't been that so far with the errors and the defensive battles, but Scott has put Batley right back in this game from almost in front of the post, David Scott. With his 11th conversion of the season, kicking of course in the absence of Pat Walker. Burrell's kick is long and deep. Tomlinson underneath in his in-goal area. Well, threatened to set off at speed, but saw the Halifax defenders coming to him, and I think slowed down a little bit. Grady and Tangata got there, and there's another offload that could cause problems for Halifax. Brad Day around Woodburn Hall, who manages to trip him up, and then Tyra completes the tackle, but the Halifax defence has been split, and Bulldogs shifting the ball wide. Davey over the top into the hands of Crooks, and Crooks is tackled by Will Sharp. Galbraith picks up and goes from dummy half, and Ed Barber on for Halifax making the tackle with Ben Heaton. 19 Bretherton, long pass away to Alex Rowe, and there's chances here for James Harrison, who gets the pass away, picked up by Smeaton. Smeaton turns it back inside, Back to 1, says the referee. Did he just say play on? He has wiped it back to 1, and Halifax find themselves on their own line. And Bulldogs swinging the ball across. Well, they haven't swung the ball across because it's been dropped by the try scorer James Brown, picked up by Ed Barber. Unfortunately for Halifax, who were stretched a little bit on this side, the mistake coming. Tangata takes it over the 20. Well, that try from Brown and conversion from Scott has certainly raised the game of this Batley Bulldogs side, but Halifax trying to retaliate in kind by carrying the ball back to the 40 with Morris. Here comes Morrell, gets it away to Chester Butler, and Butler has options inside and out, gets it back inside to Brandon Moore. Well, the Halifax suspense was split moments ago, and Halifax have done exactly the same with Morrell supplying Chester Butler, and Butler with options inside and out, and opting quite sensibly to go for the inside option, and Brandon Moore on hand to race away to the right hand side of the uprights. And take Halifax into double figures and give Tyra an easy option, or fairly simple option, to restore that 8-point lead that Halifax surrendered. Well, that might just have taken the wind out of the sails of the Bulldogs, because they were on a bit of a high and could quite easily have scored had the ball been not being put down in Halifax 20. And Halifax, well, did exactly the same. Well, nothing David Scott could do, because Ben Heaton or Brandon Moore was going to go in for definite there, and Chester Butler might have even gone on his own. But knowing the support was there, sent Brandon Moore scampering away for a third Halifax try. An opportunity of a second conversion for Steve Tyra. And Tyra doesn't miss too many from there. To be fair, his earlier misses were wide out, near the post, and the result is the same. Another 2 points. Halifax 16, 14. Batley Bulldogs 6. Tangata, looks like he ran into a shoulder there. Saltonstall taking the ball up. Elliot Morris ground down by the 2 defenders, Davey and Butterworth, who were Brown and Butterworth, who were there again. Alex Rowe went in for a bit of the action and has come off, well, wobbling rather than walking away.
Tyra kicked 2 goals, right? Tyra kicked 2 goals.
Well, it is 14-6, of course. Tyra only kicked 1 conversion so far. This HIA for Alex Rowe, it looks like it. We'll take a look at the incident down in the tunnel. Well, he came in as a 3rd man. Well, he's come off the field okay, but nothing hurt him but his pride as he went in to try and make the tackle. Doctor lead him away. And this time Morrell has opted for 1 in the air for Scott to take, and Scott's missed it. Johnson, well, trying to dribble the ball over the line. Well, it would suggest with the pace at which that ball went over that it was actually put over by the Bulldogs defence. Maybe the touch judge has a different version as a referee going to consult. With the touch judge going back under the post. Well, it's a penalty. Johnson held back, I think the call is, and that's confirmed by the referee. Well, an 8-point lead already. Halifax will try and put some more misery on this Bulldog side by forcing another try with just less than 3 minutes to go to half time. Elliot Morris almost spinning away from two. Brandon Moore out to Ben Johnson. Grady looking for a second off a short pass, but again Halifax putting the ball down early in the tackle count. Well, I'm not sure if Halifax would have been certainties, but I'm sure they would have had a lot more chances had they not given the ball away so early in the tackle count. Far too many errors. Poor completion rate for Halifax. Oh, well, they might get a chance now. Ball goes to ground. How can that? Oh, finally it goes forward. Will Sharp went to play football with it. A few disagreeing with that option. Why didn't Will Sharp go down on the ball? Well, Halifax will get another unexpected opportunity after Batley made the error to post points before half time. Can they do a little better this time? Johnson gets it away to Woodburn Hall. Well, they can do better. Woodburn Hall dropped one off Johnson early in the first half, but making no mistake this time. Well, perhaps he didn't deserve the opportunity after making another error early in the tackle count, but not satisfied with possession. Batley gave them the ball back, said have another go, and Halifax this time made the Bulldogs suffer with James Woodburn Hall running in off Ben Johnson's pass, and Halifax taking a more comfortable looking 18 points to 6 lead into the half-time break before the kick from Tyra, which not been good from wide out so far in this game. As he or will he find the range from his second attempt on that far side after missing from Grady's conversion. Similar position early in the first half. Well, that might give Halifax a bit more confidence to push on, and what they need is a bit more spray on the hands so they can hold the ball a bit longer and a bit more securely. Poor incompletion rate, but a satisfactory end to the first half from Steve Tyra with his second conversion. Giving Halifax a 14-point lead with only seconds left on the clock in the first half, and maybe not even enough time for David Scott to put the ball up on the tee. Well, no further action in this first half. There's not been a massive amount of free-flowing rugby which you would expect in these conditions. A lot of his star players. Morell's kick is long and deep, and underneath it Alex Bretherton, he turns the ball back inside. Tangata and Grady make the tackle. Butterworth to Alex Rowe, who's obviously been cleared with the HIA. Butterworth on loan from Bradford gets the ball away to James Harrison, who's tackled just over the 30. James Brown. Well, again, persistent running from Brown, and it takes him over halfway with defenders around him. Butterworth gets it back, and Brereton shapes a kick, but doesn't have the space all the time. Scott gets it away to Smeaton, and Smeaton kicks this time. Well, they've had a lot of kickers of Batley, say a lot of kickers, a lot of non-recognised kickers in Davy and Galbraith, struggling for half-backs. Naming David Scott there, although he's playing at full-back. It's players swap and change throughout the game. Will Sharp, a bit of a hospital pass for Sharp, does well to recover from that one. And Saltonstall carrying the ball up, trying to make meters again. And Johnson, well, got free, and that was a late one there from James Brown on Ben Johnson. Steve Tyra asking the touch judge how he couldn't see that. Well, it was a big swing from James Brown, no doubt about it. Big right hook coming across. Well, touch judge hasn't gone onto the field. Well, neither the touch judges. Everybody in the stand saw that one. And the referee. Well, maybe the explanation is there in that the obviously been a breakdown in communication because the referee having his audio equipment checked. Ben Johnson is leaving the field. Or Simon Griggs to return, so there'll be a change round in the Halifax lineup. And that match has gone on, that incident's gone on report. Well, I think James Brown rather, is a very, very lucky man there. Morrell chips over the top for Barber to chase, and Farrell pushes it over the defence, and Tomlinson gets back for it, and then Barber rags him to the ground 10 metres out from the Bulldogs line as Halifax pour forward quicker than the Batley players can get back into the line to attack. Now Crooks falls on impact as soon as he got to Brandon Moore. Brad Day threatening and almost getting through there. Slowed down by Moore, finished off by Morris, and the referee given a penalty for holding down. Well, it's a low penalty count from the first half, 3-2 in Halifax's favour. Should have been 4-2 after that swinging arm from James Brown, but Bulldogs have finished up with a penalty, which has taken them into the Halifax half, and it's Alex Rowe who drives the ball up to the Halifax 30. Here comes James Brown, who's proving to be handy in more ways than one. The Batley will be looking for the first score in this second half, but they're not going to get it with passes like that from David Scott, which fired off one of his own players, went forward and out of play. Well, again the errors being made. There when you would expect handling conditions to be pretty good, and either side mastering Mastering it so far. Butler dumped on his back, running off the back of the scrum. Ed Barber attracts 3 defenders to him. They find it hard work putting him down. Elliot Morris driving forward. Was eventually collared quite literally by Alex Rowe. Barber to Adam Tangata. Right, as soon as this team goes on now, certainly towards the last 20 minutes, there will be some tired bodies. Morrell to Woodburn Hall, who slips the defence and stays on his feet somehow. Batley managed to put him down just outside the 20, but there's a last tackle signalled by the referee. Morrell will go to the air and look for Tyra. Here comes Tyra, and he's taken by Tomlinson, and Tomlinson is just tapped on the ankles by Saltonstall, finished off by Ed Barber as he got up to continue. I think Ed Barber might have stolen the ball had Simon Griggs not been in such close attendance then. But to the 40, Morris with a tackle on Harrison. Farrell looks for a way through. Taking the pass off Hemingway. Farrell stopped 2 metres from halfway. Butterworth moves into acting half, and here comes James Brown again off what looked like a forward pass, but allowed to continue. Butterworth looks right, and the players were too close to him there. Butterworth finally gets his pass away to Brad Day. Day to Harrison, and Harrison puts it down, but backwards, says the referee. It's the last tackle on the Halifax 40. Who's the kicker this time? And it's Bretherton again. Well taken by Woodburn Hall, who looked almost to be making the mark like they're doing rugby union there, stamping his foot on the floor. But the different rules, a different game, mean that Halifax will try and continue to bring the ball out of their own 20 as Saltonstall almost away from Alex Rowe then. Brandon Moore gets it to Will Sharp, and Sharp makes the 40 metre line before being brought down. Brandon Moore with a touch off a Bulldogs hand means there's 6 more tackles for Halifax and numbers on this side, but Ed Barber has gone for the kick straight into the arms of Tomlinson. He could see the opportunity with the 3-on-2 on this near side. Halifax supporters not happy with that decision, but they would have been if it had gone into Halifax hands and they had scored in the corner. The ball will go back to the original offence of the knock-on. Time for the scrum to go down, but it does on the 40, and the referee is not happy with it. Halifax 40. It's 20 points to 6. Still 7 minutes gone in the second half. This match kicking off an hour later, of course, due to England's involvement in the football team in the World Cup. Ben Heaton almost away then. The Bulldogs defender still trying to bring him down as he gets up to play the ball. Ed Barber put down, but it's making the yards for Halifax back towards that Bulldogs try line. Brandon Moore to Griggs. Griggs out to Woodburn Hall. Woodburn Hall to Tyler. Saltonstall down the touchline. Kick inside. Well, Woodburn Hall won't get to it because Harrison was shouldering him away, but Brandon Moore will. Well, Saltonstall did extremely well there, was hugging the touchline, knew he wasn't going to get the distance, and a little kick off the inside, of the outside of the right foot infield. And Woodburn Hall was in the chase, but Harrison wasn't going to let him get to it, but Harrison couldn't stop Brandon Moore touching down. Halifax get the all-important score in the second half. And Brandon Moore gets his second try of the game. Tries number 4 and 5 for the season for Brandon Moore. Credit Saltonstall, who was going at a fair pace, and he was all up at full speed. And the ability to control the kick, to put it where he wanted it, keep it in the in-goal area. Great skill from Saltonstall. Tyra looks to add his third conversion to increase the total, and that's no problem for Steve Tyra. Steve Tyra stretches the lead to 20 points. Halifax 26, Batley Bulldogs 6. Saltonstall, the recipient of the kick, gives it inside to Elliot Morris, and Morris charges the ball out, and again it's a turnover on the first tackle. So when they thought they were probably out of sight, Halifax are having to defend, and Gledhill back on the field for the Batley Bulldogs, driven backwards in the tackle of Moore and Grady. Hemingway out to Farrell. Well, Farrell looking for options, but he didn't have any. He's offloaded. Well, the Bulldogs teammates didn't have their eye on the ball, which is why they finished up 10 metres further out from the line than when they started with that particular passage of play. Brad Day will run it up to the defence to get some plays it quickly. Butterworth from acting half to Gledhill, and Gledhill just back on the field is able to reach out and put the ball down off Butterworth's pass. But that again, Halifax unable to keep hold of the ball, turning it over on the first tackle, and Batley too close to the Halifax line to turn it down the opportunity of a second try, with Reese Butterworth putting Adam Gledhill in, and Gledhill having to do nothing more than just stretch over the line and put the ball down. Batley in double figures at 10 points, thanks to Gledhill, and will double their score surely with Scott in front of the post. Puts the lead to 14 points. 11 minutes gone in the second half. Well, the Batley side not giving up the fight yet. Long kick taken on the try line by Galbraith, and James Brown runs the ball back 12 metres out from the Bulldogs line. Reese Butterworth, drop off ball to Gledhill. Well, have plenty of steam left with Gledhill, because he didn't have to do a lot of work for that try that he just scored. Farrell, well, Lewis Galbraith had cutting a line through the defence there, but the pass didn't come from Farrell. Here comes Brown again. Butterworth gets it to Scott, stacking men on this near side. Harrison gets it, well, that's probably one of the best passes James Saltonstall's going to get all afternoon off James Harrison, straight into his hands. Grigson acting half. Tyra is surrounded by 4 Batley defenders and carried back towards the halfway line. And eventually the referee's patience runs out with the time that the Bulldogs defenders spent around Steve Tyra, and he has no option but to blow the whistle toward Halifax. A 4th penalty, first one of the second half, and Halifax will be hoping that they can make the Bulldogs pay by responding to that try that they've just posted. Well, Batley have given them a great opportunity. Can Halifax post some more points? Tangata with the first run, 15 metres out. Brandon Moore to the right hand side with Morell to Woodburn Hall. Not the best of passes. Woodburn Hall does well to take it down by his knees and decided to take on the defence. Probably didn't have time or composure to get the pass away. Elliot Moritz does well to take the pass off Brandon Moore, considering the completion rate of Halifax this afternoon. Tangata to Griggs to Woodburn Hall on this side of the field, and Saltonstall will be in for the try. Danny Morn of the Batley coaching staff complaining to the referee about a forward pass there while he was stuck behind the in-goal area, but James Saltonstall, that's the kind of pass he wants to put him in at the corner. The provider turns try scorer. Well, he was the first man to touch that ball in that set of 6 when James Harrison opted for the long pass as Batley tried to sack players down this near side. But credit James Woodburn Hall there, who was on the other side of the field, taking an awkward ball and suddenly turning up on the inside of the field by the blast to put Saltonstall in for another Halifax try. I'll keep Halifax just ticking away. It's an 18-point lead. They didn't want to give Batley any more chances. Might have been a different story if Batley have got the first score of the second half. Halifax didn't allow that by ensuring they went over first. But then Batley did score, but Halifax have replied very quickly. And Ben Johnson is coming back onto the field with number 24 on his back, which is Kieran Moss's number. And Tyra, well, he's found his mark this time from the touchline. The lead is 20 points for Halifax, 32 points to 12. Minutes gone. Sorry, 13 minutes gone in the second half. Clock counting backwards, of course. There's still plenty of time for Batley to come back, plenty of time for Halifax to get more points. Key for Halifax in these next few weeks is just to keep winning. And it's not going to be easy. Barrow away, Featherstone at home, London away and Toulouse at home. A tough end to the season for Halifax. It looks a tougher running than any of the other 5 clubs that are chasing that top 4 place for the end of season, middle 8s. Halifax would love to be there again. Well, so long as they win, would appear the league will stay the same. Scott does well there. Put his hand up. The sun is not directly in his eyes, but obviously causing problems as you look up, and looks like Harrison was almost ready to pass then, and he's knocked on, and Harrison's looking for a big hole to swallow him up because he knows that he shouldn't have made that fumble there. He almost gave the ball away as he threatened to pass in the tackle, but then fumbled it up in getting up to play it, and Halifax given another opportunity. Some 2 minutes exactly gone in the second half. And looked as though it was going to be one of those low-scoring games between these two clubs, but things have changed considerably in Halifax's favour. Oh, this dummy half run from Moore finishes half a metre away from the Bulldogs line. Morell moves into acting out, gets it away to Griggs. Long pass from Griggs to Barber. Halifax come down this left-hand side again, and it's Tyra who'll go in. Well, he can't get the ball down, can't Steve Tyra. Well, there were 3 defenders around him. Halifax defenders with a back turn to Keenan Tomlinson, who plays it to himself. Makes 10 metres. Almost another try for Halifax. Michael Ward back on. Gets to the 40. Crooks, who's had very few touches in this game, Jason Crooks, but when he has had the ball, he's had very little effect. Griggs gives him a bit of a facial. Brad Day still running hard and strong, gets the ball away to Butterworth, and Butterworth continues another 10 metres, gets the ball away, and Griggs waiting for the big tackle on Scott, the full back. Hemingway, long pass out to Farrell. Farrell driven into the ground by the Halifax defence, but Batley back in the Halifax red zone. Michael Ward looking to punch a hole in the Halifax defence on the last tackle, signalled by the referee. Going to the air. Tyra's going to come up with it, because he inevitably does when it comes across on a kick from a high ball like that. Batley not making the most of opportunities. He's not the best of kicks. He was probably too far away from the Halifax try line. Will Sharp trying to turn Reese Butterworth inside out. Ben Kay back on for Halifax, gets it to Morell. Morell gets a pass away, shouts for a high tackle again on Chester Butler, and Morell will just be happy to put the ball into touch and keep the Bulldogs down in their own quarter of the field and look for another error. So water carriers on again. I think possibly teams agreed that after 20 minutes that maybe it would be wise. There'll be another opportunities which the water carriers have come on every chance they've got. Absolutely glorious summer's afternoon. Batley feed the scrum. Here comes Crooks again. Well, he's like an extra forward is Jason Crooks, and maybe his second row might be a better position for him. He'd get a bit more involved than he has this afternoon as he walks back out to that far left hand side. Bretherton gets over the 40-metre line. Hemingway, the drop-off pass to Michael Ward. He's bundled to the ground just inside the Halifax half of the field. Butterworth kicks deep and long, and that one is not going to trouble Woodburn Hall. Farrell made the chase, but all in vain as the ball goes over the dead ball line, out of play. Halifax will come back. James Woodburn Hall will step round Michael Ward into the arms of Gledhill and Butterworth. Sharp trying to find a way through, dragging 3 defenders, gets the offload away to Ben Heaton, and Ben Heaton carries it over halfway for Halifax, wants to get up and play it quickly, and the Batley defenders must have been offside there, but they were still going back from Halifax's last attack. And Jacob Fairbank loses the ball, and it's a penalty. It took a long time to make that decision. It was pulled out in a 2-on-1 with Gledhill and Brad Day. Ben Kay to Jacob Fairbank, and Fairbank to the 20-metre line, and hard as they try, the Bulldogs defence are not going to push him back from where he came. Ben Kay to Morrell to Chester Butler, and Butler's brought down 5 metres away. Halifax hunting more points, and will they get him? Well, they're so close, but not able to put the ball down. I think that's Ben Heaton. Was it Griggs on that far side? Kick through for Tangata, and all Tangata had to do was touch it down, but it bounced away from him, and Tomlinson was able to pick it up for the Bulldogs. Well, Halifax could have had another try there. Perhaps it needed somebody a little bit quicker than Adam Tangata. So close to stretching the lead to 24 points there, but Batley bring it away from their own line, and Dane Manning stripping off, ready to come back on. Michael Ward takes the ball into 3 Halifax defenders, and Butterworth goes for a kick, tries to get it down behind Saltonstall, and Saltonstall able to keep it in. Will pick it up and gives it to Woodburn Hall. Woodburn Hall out to Will Sharp, and Will Sharp looks for the offload, gets it away to Fairbank. Dan Fleming will take it forward, and Manning straight back onto the field and straight into a headlock around Dan Fleming. Tangata running off the shoulder of Ben Johnson. Well, Tangata walked it forward about 5 metres there. Will claim him for a penalty as the Batley defenders dragged him towards their line. Fairbank to Morrell to Butler back inside to Morrell, and Batley are caught again. Scott Morrell celebrates with the Halifax faithful in the south stand, and that surely is game, set and match for Halifax now. And it's Chester Butler becoming almost trademark that break through the defence. He did it in the first half to send Brandon Moore away. He's done it in the second half to send Morrell away, although the pass was surprised by Morrell originally. Butler unselfishly gives the ball back inside to his captain. And Halifax stretch the lead out to 24 points. Now Halifax 36, Batley Bulldogs 12. Kick to come from Tyra. Well, there is a more pleasing aspect of Halifax's performance is that so far they've kept the Batley Bulldogs to 2 tries. Both of them conceded off some poor goal line defence, but when you consider the size of Gledhill and Brown running at pace, always difficult to stop. Halifax have responded. We'll play away at Barrow next week against the side that's leaked in over 100 points in the last 2 games, but on a different proposition at home. Halifax will need to carry the confidence of this win. What do you think? Tyra converts.
I'll give it.
And Halifax lead 38 points to 12. Batley try for the short kick-off. Well, they're going to the wrong man there. Tyra takes it quite easily, and Halifax on the brink of another 40 points scoreline. Well, there's a posse of Batley defenders around Ed Barber there, who finally gets some, plays the ball. Tangata gives it to Fleming. Fleming attracts 3 defenders. I think that the Batley defence are getting a little bit tired now. Fairbank this time charging it up and pushing the Bulldogs defence back, but the more defence they do, the more tired they'll get, and Halifax may be able to create an opening out of it. Woodburn Hall away from the first tackle, goes back centre field. Woodburn Hall thought something had opened up, but he'd gone round behind one of his own players, and he's penalised for the obstruction. Tom Hemingway kicked for touch then, but seems to be struggling. He was testing out the hamstrings and stretching before the game started. He's still doing the same, so he's obviously got a problem. Joel Farrell is going to be replaced by James Brown as Scott gets the ball away. Slugging away, Batley trying to get something out of this game. Butterworth goes from acting half, goes on his own. Can't get to the line. The last tackle was indicated by the referee. And Brown looking for a second, just back on the field. Almost in surprise he got the ball there. Well, he's got his side of penalty. Well, there's only really one option for Batley here. They're certainly not going for the 2 points, so they'll go for the power play. Halifax defence waits on their own goal line. Gledhill, score of that second Bulldogs try, looking for a second of his own. Bretherton stepping. Barber pushing Hemingway out of the way. Brown with a step and a look, but nobody to give the ball to. Here comes Michael Ward, who knocked on over the line. The Batley players were celebrating a try there, but for their reward, Halifax have managed to make Ward knock on over the line, which means he'll come back for a tap on the 20. 7 tackle restart. 7 tackle set as Ben Heaton tries unsuccessfully to spin away. Chester Butler leaves the field. Halifax pouring forward. Tyra caught by Gledhill then, who I'm not sure was standing square, but Tyra, well, they wrestled with him. 3 of them couldn't put him to the ground. Tyra plays the ball. Fleming tries to go through the middle of the defence, plays in quickly, picked up, scooted away. Morris steps out of the tackle. Morris pushing forward, gets Halifax back in the Batley red zone. Woodburn Hall, who's looked good on his reappearance after injury. Tangata with a 2 steps from Tangata, and the power and the pass away to Ben Johnson. The little flick out of the right hand side, but what about the set from Adam Tangata? They are leaving 2 defenders in his wake. Well, if he ever needed to stand off, Adam Tangata might be able to step up to that after that little foray through the Batley defence, and then the offload to Johnson, and Halifax have hit the 40-point mark again. Another one under the post, but put that down to Adam Tangata's nifty footwork with 2 side steps past 2 defenders. And a little offload into the arms of Johnston. Less than 9 minutes to go. The day now definitely in the bag for Halifax. Who lead by 44 points to 12, which will soon become 46. And does as Tyra deposits the ball into the Halifax supporters in the east stand. Off James Davey back on, but he's not going to have too much of an impact now as you go for the short kick. It bounces away from Fleming, play on, and Fleming has taken James Brown over the touchline, so Halifax will get possession from the short kick-off, albeit courtesy of Fleming's tackle. The ball looked to be coming down awkwardly for Dan Fleming. It came off him and went into James Brown, who played on, but then Dan Fleming making amends by dragging the Batley replacement over the touchline to give Halifax, oh he hasn't, he's given Batley the scrum, and Smeaton gets absolutely hammered. I was probably judged that Dan Fleming had knocked on in putting the ball into the hands of James Brown, so first offence and back for the scrum. But the tackling from Halifax is well, it's good enough to cause another error. Batley still unable to complete properly, give possession away. And less than 7 minutes to go, Halifax home and hosed at 44-12. Brandon Moore trying to find a way through, but 3 tacklers around him making the tackle. And Elliot Morris has support both sides, gets it away to Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore gets it to Johnston, Johnson to Woodburn Hall. The kick for Saltonstall to chase, it's on the bounce, and Saltonstall must have got fingertips on it. The touch judge seems to be saying no, the try ruled out for a knock on. Saltonstall shakes his head, it looked like he got fingertips to it before it went out of play. The referee said there's a knock on. So Batley will come back with James Brown tackled on the, well, just before the 30-metre line. Gledhill taking it forward. Brandon Moore and Fleming the tacklers. Dane Manning. He's tackled. Davey gets it to Alex Rowe, but Alex Rowe put down by Tangata just inside the Halifax half. Bretherton gets it away. It's a kick through for Tomlinson to chase, and Tomlinson, well, put his hand to it, knocked it forward. And Halifax will get possession as we go into the last 5 minutes. It's job done for Halifax. Well, maybe, just maybe, Halifax could afford to drop one game out of the 5 that remain, but they'll want to win them all, obviously, because the pressure will be put on by London and Leigh. And Halifax winning today means they'll still stay in 4th place. And they'll be looking for Lee perhaps to falter next week in North America. London play at Batley next week. Difficult to see any result but a London win there. So Halifax need to win away at Barrow. There's no reason they can't do it. They're capable of it, but Barrow's home form much better than their away form. But Halifax, oh, good ball inside to Barber. Barber has Morris in support. Can he outstrip Manning? Barber gets, well, he didn't need to. Ed Barber didn't need to make the effort to get up there. Manning did a good job of bringing Barber down, but Ed Barber able to pop the ball up for Elliot Morris. And if Tyra can convert, it'll take Halifax 4 to the 50. Well, they're improving week on week at Halifax. But the important thing for Halifax is being able to win against teams like Swinton and Batley and post big scores, and not just sit back and think the match is done at half time at 20 points to 6, which they could have done. Halifax, with Tyrus kicking it successful, have added 30 points in the second half. And Halifax have created a little bit of a ruthless streak in the fact that they've continued to show no mercy and post points. End of the season, if it comes down to points difference, Halifax are going to be a long way off competing in that, so the 2 points have to be posted week by week for Halifax. Tyra, another conversion. Makes it 7 for the afternoon. A much better performance from Halifax in the second half. Part of that is the completion rate has been upped. Completion rate percentage better in the second half than it was in the first. With that possession, Halifax have been able to post more points with ball in hand, and might have done more in the first half. So they've improved as the game's gone on. Salt and Stall. James Woodburn Hall on his return gets the man of the match. Well, Richard Marshall had problems this week with his selection. He's going to have problems next week. Difficult to leave Woodburn all out. He had a great game at Batley before he went off. He's had another one against Batley today. Tyra running onto the short ball from Johnston, and Woodburn all in acting half, gives it to Johnson. Johnson will kick across the field end on end, and Fleming it is that comes up with it. Is it? Well, he's lost possession. He looked like he had it, but it's gone into the hands of a Batley player in Alex Bretherton, I think, or Lewis Galbraith it is, and Halifax penalised. And Scott, well, there's seconds left. Halifax fans are singing their heads off away to the left hand side. Manning drives it up, and Batley will finish the game with the ball, it looks like, but they won't finish with the 2 points. They belong to Halifax after a much stronger second half display with ball in hand, although it probably confident at 20 points at half time the result would go their way. Well, it's been put beyond doubt in the second half by a Halifax side who posted 30 points. Morris, Johnson, Morrell, Saltonstall and Brandon Moore going over in the second half. The hoot has gone. Referee's playing it on, and maybe there will be a last word for the Batley Bulldogs, but Halifax's determination there right to the end as Ed Barber throws Crooks out of play. Man and ball tackle. Tyra adding 5 conversions to all those second half tries, and it's been a dominant performance by Halifax in the second half. And Richard Marshall and the Halifax supporters will be hoping this improvement continues.